Hey guys, Mr. Frida here, and in today's loadout video, I like to bring you a loadout I like to call the Sarah Briggs loadout. Now this loadout is going to be focusing on the ideal character called Sarah Briggs for the M-Core faction, and I'm going to be kind of basing my own version of her as if she was a proper pilot, and if she was actually going to be a playable character, this is what her character loadout is going to be. Now, as always, you can always change it to something else that kind of fits your playstyle. This is a loadout, so you don't have to go 100% with it, but this is what I like to go with, and honestly, it kind of fits her playstyle. So anyways, let's go into the main loadout for her. Her main class would be a grapple. Ideally, I chose a grapple simply because, from what I currently know about Sarah Briggs, she's kind of a reconnaissance type pilot, so she's more of a person that goes behind the scenes and kind of steals data and assassinates people. So ideally, as a reconnaissance person, you kind of want to be getting the nice advantage view across everywhere. So going with the grapple kind of gives you that ability to get up to higher areas as quickly as possible and to get you out of danger as quickly as possible. Primary now, I decided to go with two types of weapons, and this is kind of up to you to decide on what you like to go with. I chose EPG or the car. Now, EPG wise, you only go to EPG when you want to go loud. And when you go loud, it's only when, for example, if you use your main boost, or if, for example, you're in a situation where there's a big group of enemies and your main pistol isn't going to be enough to take them all out. Always, your EPG should kind of be your last resort. You shouldn't be using it as a main primary just of yet. And I'll explain later on why. Secondly, if you don't want to be using EPG, because you don't feel that confident with it, you can always go with the car. Now, I chose the car simply because this is kind of the one SMG that I see a lot of characters, ranging from Cooper to Cuban Blisk, using the car as a main primary weapon. So I thought, if that's the case, then I might as well give her it. It seems quite common, and it seems to be as common as if everyone else is using the R101 or R201. But like always, you can always change it to whatever weapon you'd like to go with, but try to keep it, in balance in a way so that it fits the character ideally. I chose EPG because for grapple, it basically allows you a lot of airtime, so it basically allows you to rain a lot of death upon enemies. And car, because it's quite common with other people. Don't go ahead and choose other weapons that don't kind of fit the bill for them. The second view now is going to be a P2016. This is the one main weapon that's quite common for Sarah Briggs. I know that she uses it quite a lot, and through a lot of her promotion art and just looking at her from a lot of online pictures and such, she's always wielding a pistol. So I'm going to guess this is what she mainly goes with. Now you can add a silencer to it. However, I decided that not to go with that because one, the weapon just the P2016 has just been recently nerfed, so it's slightly a bit weaker now. And plus, adding a silencer to P2016 is kind of gimping yourself. Unless you're going for a stealth approach, don't go with a silencer on the weapon. Unless you're that type of person that enjoys a bit of challenge every once in a while. Your boost now is going to be a smart pistol. Once again, I decided to go with this ID because she's a reconnaissance person, but when things do get hairy, she kind of wants to clear up the area as quickly as possible and kind of get out the area as quickly as possible. So use the smart pistol. That's great for taking out AI, I must admit. Is one of the main boosts I recommend all players to go with. Now, some players will probably get salty if they get killed by this multiple times, but don't worry, you're not going to be using this a lot. But I recommend that you kind of only use it on AI if you get a chance. Or if not, then by all means go ahead and use it on, let's say, enemy players as well. Although enemy players do require an extra few seconds for locking on, but it's definitely worth it, I must admit. Your ordnance now. Now your ordnance, there's two ordnance I decided to go with. You can either go with frag grenades, so your normal frag grenades, or your satchel. Now if you go with your normal frag grenades, it basically allows you to cover a wide area for you to kill enemies that could potentially be hiding behind. So say for example enemies in the building, throwing a frag grenade will be quite easy for you because it has quite a wide blast radius, and it also allows you to, it to basically be thrown a bit further than normal. Now compared to the satchel is kind of the same thing. However, when you throw the satchel, it tends to stick on the ground, so it won't roll for a few seconds like the frag grenade does, and you can't you can't cook it whatsoever. Once you throw your ordnance into an area, you have to activate it there and then. If you don't activate it there and then, it's not going to set off. So this is more of something that you only tend to use only if you know, for example, an enemy is in there or group of enemies in there, and you kind of want to kill them within one large blast radius. And I must admit as well, it's also quite useful for taking out Titans as well. It takes about, I say, a quarter or at least a full bar of a Titan's health, depending on where exactly you hit them. So I really do recommend that you go ahead and use this only if you know how to properly use it in the correct manner. The Titan now is going to be the Monarch. Now this is kind of a easy. Now this is now I tend to go with Monarch simply because of the fact that in the Trial by Fire campaign mission, and I must admit it's actually a really amazing mission, Sarah is, I believe, in a Monarch Titan, so why not just go with it as well? Now I was going to go with Ion, but this was way before Monarch was actually first introduced. When Monarch got introduced into the game, then I decided like, yeah, I can go with this loadout and I'll go with Monarch here. And Monarch fits the bill perfectly. Ideally for your core abilities, you want to go with Arc Rounds, Maelstrom and Superior Chassis. This will basically allow you to survive a lot longer on the battlefield. Your Maelstrom will basically allow you to take out enemies like Ronin and Squads that decide to get too up close with you, and also any pilots decide to get onto you, they'll get killed quite instantly and rather quickly. And your Arc Rounds are quite amazing against people like Ion, who tends to use your shield and try to fire it back at you. That won't be the case for you this time, because with Arc Rounds you'll basically be able to drain their shield rapidly, and this basically means that you can cover wide bits of area and basically force Ion players to back up and basically allow you for the win. Your two kits now could be a healthy generation and low profile. I'll leave it up to you if you want to change that whatsoever. And the camo color, I'll leave it up to you to decide. Ideally, we'll go with the standard color, as that's what the color Monarch was in the campaign mission. Now, when it comes down to actually playing her as a whole, I say you can try to be sneaky as much as you want to be, but in this type of game mode here, it's relatively hard to be sneaky while using the grapple class. Now, if I was using the cloak class, that could generally be possible. Then, yeah, I can go ahead and use my P216 and my smart pistol, and go ahead and use my silencer as well to go off and get stealth kills. And I have done a loadout previously, I believe called the Assassin loadout, but I used those types of weapons before. However, in this case here, your weapons here, you kind of just want to be, I say, aggressive, but also kind of want to plan out your attacks. Don't be a frontline soldier, because that's not your role. What you want to do is be relying on your teammates. Make sure you know where your teammates are, by always making sure you watch your mini-map, and then use your grapple class as effectively as possible. Try to find areas where you can pretty much scout out. Scout out where the enemies are, scout out where the enemies are going to be spawning to, and then ideally what you want to try to do is try to get behind them, and then use your P216, your grapple, and either use your EPG or your car, whatever you like, and try to rack up as much kills as possible. Because the thing is, your main primary isn't going to be EPG or the car, it's going to be the P216. And as you can see in the gameplay, I'm really maximizing the P216 a lot. So this is kind of what you want to be going with. Now, in terms of when you activate your boost, your smart pistol, like I said, only activate it when you know the enemy's out in the open, and when you know the enemy doesn't have a chance to actually fight back. So ideally, say for example you're on, let's say, Boomtown. If you get behind the enemy's team spawn and they're fighting your friendlies and you're right behind them, activate your smart pistol and then automatically lock onto them, because by the time they try to react quickly as possible, it will be too late. You would have at least pumped in at least 3 to 4 rounds into them. They're dead. You can reload, carry on until your weapon runs out. Do be aware though that if you do use a smart pistol and it does run out, or it does run out of ammo, your secondary pistol is completely gone. It won't swap back to your P216, something I find quite odd and a bit stupid at the same time. But the fact is, once your smart pistol is out of ammo, that's it. Your P216 is gone until you respawn again. This here is where I mean that you come in with your car or your EPG. At that point there, that's when you want to go in completely loud. You go in and then you can start becoming a bit more aggressive. Use your grapple, use your EPG, rain as much hell as possible. Use a car, I say, grab enemies up close, kill them as quickly as possible using your car. Use your satchel as quickly as effective as possible. Maybe set up booby traps with the satchel, because I know it's possible. And I know against Titans as well that tend to chase you, you can do a ton of damage to slow them down as well. and then when you get enough core meter, that's when you want to bring down your Monarch. Now, like I said always, be aware, Monarch is completely weak in this first stage. So try to stay behind enemy lines, or stay behind your friendly lines, let them soak up all the damage, and make sure you upgrade your core to at least, I say, core 2 at best. Once you hit core 2, that's when you can be a bit more aggressive. But at the time being, when you start off quite low on your first core, don't go aggressive. Be as defensive as possible, support your teammates as much as possible. When you hit core 2, you can be a bit more aggressive. Once you hit core 3, that's it, you can be completely aggressive. Because with superior chassis, this is the point of where you'll become quite a danger on the field. But also you have to remember that if your Monarch is spotted on the field, all enemy players will try to go after you, because you're a big target because of how dangerous you can become. And if everything does go as planned, you should come out on top of the leaderboard. And I must admit, this loadout is completely fun to play with. If you're someone that's used to using grapple, and you're someone that kind of wants to cosplay a character that could potentially be in the game, through if she was a loadout character, this is for you. And I recommend everyone to go ahead and try this loadout. It honestly is fun, it's something new, it's something just to, you know, give you an experience, because hopefully in Titanfall 3 they kind of expand on these characters and actually show us a bit more on what type of pilot they are, what type of class that they are, what type of gear they use, what type of weapon they use. So honestly guys, recommend it for you guys, try it out, it's fun. I give it a good, say 7 out of 10, it's good. You will have to learn a bit how to use EPG and the grapple. If you don't want to, then by all means use the car, the P2X16. Go out there and have a lot of fun, honestly. So thank you all for watching. I do hope you liked the video. If you did, then by all means leave a comment, a like, and subscribe for more. If you didn't like the video, then by all means leave a dislike. I understand, and I know where to improve in the nearby future for you guys. But like always, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon.